Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another video, and finally, we're going to be talking all about Ascension, which I have been asked a ton. Legacy, who are you going to be ascending? Who's going to be that first 6-star you want to ascend? And it was not an easy decision because there's some really top tier options, which I'm going to go over my top pick in every single class for 6-star Ascension, some general tips, and then I'll be ascending some 5-stars as well, and ascend a 6-star. Which I'm very excited about. So let's go ahead and claim some of this dust. This is for the 5-stars. We can go ahead and get the 5-star Ascension out of the way first. So the very first champion that I want to ascend, of course, is Magic. I think she is by far one of the top 3 most logical options in the entire game. So there we go. Magic ascended. There we go. What I really like about this is you press a button and you're done. There's no ISO, there's no gold after to keep leveling them up. It's just done. Press a button is done. So there we go. Magic ascended. Nice. It's fantastic. Quake would also make sense for 5-star Ascension. I think one of the best options. But actually, yeah, I think I'll just do it. Whatever. Yeah, there we go. Quake, it's just the reason why Magic and Quake are just the best options is because they're 5-star locked. There's only 3 champions in the entire game that are locked out of being 6-stars. That's Magic, Quake, and the other champion, who's going to be our next Ascension, is Ultron Classic here. So, yeah, this guy's rank 5. He's rank 5, level 65. I don't remember doing that. But okay, perfect. Yeah, this was the other guy I wanted to ascend. Oh, and I still have enough for one more. That's actually good. Okay, so boom, there's classic. Is this guy classic Ultron, or what is he? He's just Ultron. Okay. Well, yeah, this Ultron honestly is so cool. I love the look of this guy. I would really love if for the next type of like endgame abyss level, or I think Brian was calling it the crevice. I like the sound of that. So I think I'll just start calling it that. So the next endgame content, if it's the crevice or whatever, if the reward could be a 7-star version of this Ultron with like tuned up and reworked abilities, that'd be so epic, dude. That'd be so epic. And I'd love for this Ultron to actually have a crossfight ability for the tech class. That like boosts the entire tech class. You become like I don't know, one of Ultron's bots or something. I don't know. I had a name for it. I forget now. But yeah, I think that'd be so cool. This guy just looks so dope. Oh, I love him. I just wish he was better and available as a higher star level. But that's what makes sending him so good. Now we have enough for one more 5-star Ascension, and we're gonna go ahead and do Ronin because Ronin rank 5, Sig 200. I don't want to give my 6-star Sigs. So, bada bing, bada boom, there we go, Ronin ascended. Alright, those are all the 5-star ascensions I wanted to. I thought I could only do 3, so I wasn't going to do Quake, but I guess I could do 4, so there we go. Alright, now let's go ahead and talk about 6-stars and Ascension. Now, my number 1 biggest tip when it comes to ascending 6-star champions, for me, this is the thing I'm going to be trying to live by. The number 1 most important rule with Ascension. Again, you don't have to follow this rule, but I think it is the most important, and it's what I'm going to try to stick to. And that is, don't ascend champions that are available as 7-stars. Simple as that. Now, I'm not saying, but there is a few special cases where you could make an argument for it, and those special cases are any champion that really is dependent on their signature ability. So if you really want a champion at Sig 200, unless you're a Giga Whale, the 7-star route, you're not going to get Sigs in them. So it would make sense to ascend a 6-star. For example, let's say a Tuma, who is available as a 7-star in the Titan Crystal currently, who benefits greatly from high Sig. I think he would make sense to ascend. But again, personally, I'm not going to be doing that. I think Ascension is really the best way to take advantage of champions that we won't be seeing as 7-stars. I think those are the highest priority for champions that we should be ascending. And of course, before we get into anything, Hercules is undoubtedly, the number 1 option for Ascension. Actually, I don't think so. I mean, if he was the number one undisputed option, I would do it. So I don't think for everyone, but Hercules is the best champ of the game. He does make the most sense for Ascension. I will be ascending Hercules as well eventually. Just there's no rush. A rank 5 Hercules already is such a beast. Like, I don't need him ascended right now. Personally, I have much other plans, and I'll explain once I talk about who I'm sending why. But yes, Hercules is the best option, but when we go class by class, we're going to skip over Hercules because he's Hercules. We all know he's the best, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's just go class by class. So science. So in a couple classes, there's like 3 options. In some classes, it's just 1, right? So I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on all of this. Science class, undisputed, number 1 option, not even close, Scorpion. I think Scorpion by far just makes the most logical sense to ascend as a 6-star science champion. He is just the best science champion in the game. He's the most versatile. It is highly unlikely that we're going to see this dude as a 7-star. And yeah, he's just absolutely incredible. Scorpion is so freaking good. He's just such a versatile champ with his selectable damage and immunities. He basically works everywhere, which is just so incredible to be almost useful in like just about every single situation. He's just an absolute no-brainer for Ascension, and he'll definitely be my first science Ascension by far. No one else even comes to mind. Not a single other champion here comes to mind. Just Scorpion. If Spot didn't exist as a 7-star, I might be doing Spot, but he does. So Scorpion all day long. All right, that was an easy one. Let's move on to skill. Skill is a tricky one. Here, I would say there are 3 champions. I'd say 4 champions that make sense to ascend here. Skill class, it's a competitive one. Nick Fury, obviously, 2 lives, you're gonna get the stat boost in both lives, pretty powerful. Then we have someone like Valkyrie, who I don't think we're gonna be seeing as a 7-star. And Valkyrie does also, like the max Sig. So having her at Sig 200, basically she becomes the best unstoppable counter in the game, which is pretty nice. Plus, she can counter basically 90% of the game just by hitting their block. Valkyrie is very busted, very busted. Some people still think she's not a top 3 champ or top 3 science skill champion. It's top 3 skill champion, which I don't understand how those people's brains work. Like, the amount of things that Valkyrie can counter in this game, just in my hands, is absurd. Then you put her in the hands of like someone who truly knows how to maximize her, and she becomes like this insane nuke that you can instantly ramp in like 30 seconds, and it's insane. So yeah, I think Valkyrie is a fantastic option. If Valk's one of your favorite champs, I think ascending her is a really, really good play. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Valkyrie. She's okay. I kind of like her, but the fact that like there's so much better people at playing Valkyrie than me, I don't know. It does not make me want to try to get better at her. It makes me just not really want to use her. So I'm definitely not ascending her. And it's the same kind of thing with Kingpin. Kingpin has been relevant since his buff pretty much everywhere and pretty much always. For like pretty much every Battleground season, he's been relevant. In Alliance War, he's extremely relevant. He has great synergies. He's great for questing. Kingpin is absolutely that guy. Very unlikely to see him as a 7-star. So I think, yeah, Kingpin Ascension is going to make a lot of sense. Personally, again, Kingpin's alright. I don't mind playing him from time to time. I use him in AQ every day. I like him there. I don't like using him as much in competitive modes, though, especially like Battlegrounds and War. I just don't like playing Kingpin there. Yeah, in AQ, love him. Questing, love it. But I don't know, Kingpin's not exactly my cup of tea. And another skill champ we have to mention is Kate Bishop. She has some of the best damage in the game, and it's Cold Snap, which, is one of the best damage sources to have, probably second to only, like, Rupture, for, like, the amount of immunities to it. So, yeah, Kate Bishop, I could see her being a top option for Ascension. The only thing why I would be slightly hesitant if I really liked Kate was because of, one of my main rules, not to take a champion up there 7-star. Now, there's some champions that fall into an interesting category that Kate falls into that are not 7-stars, but they very well could be, because Kate Bishop was on the skill vote to be entered into the Titan pool. So that means she is on Kabam's radar, to be added as a 7-star, or at least she was. Maybe by the time they get the numbers back on her, they'll see, wow, she is really powerful. Maybe we shouldn't add her as a 7-star. I don't know, though. Just something to keep in mind. Just something I wanted to mention. But yeah, I think any 4 of those skill champions would be a good option. Then we get to mutants, and again, it's back to just one champion, Kitty. Kitty, by far, makes the most sense to ascend in the mutant class. Not even close. I think Kitty is the, only behind Hercules, and, the most unlikely champions that we'll ever see as 7-stars. I don't think we'll ever see a 7-star Kitty Pryde, because Kitty is has one of the second most busted awakened abilities in the game, and that is, when you phase, you take no damage from any source, which you can, if Kitty in a skilled player's hands can maintain phasing for 80% of a match. That means for 80% of a match, you take no damage, aka you're indestructible, invulnerable, immune to damage. That is just so stupidly powerful. So yeah, Kitty, ascending her, be great. Kitty, one of her biggest downsides is that she kind of requires the suicide masteries to get her full potential. Because Kitty is one of the very few champions in the game that is immune to recoil. Basically just throw your special attacks while you're phasing, and again, you're immune to damage, you're immune to that recoil damage. Also, while you're phasing, you're immune to the bleed and the poison debuffs on you, so they just become passive regen through willpower. So Kitty with suicides feels incredible, but without them, not as good. I know my good buddy Andrew the Rough, he has a 565 Kitty, he took her out of his deck. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. How are you taking Kitty Pryde out of your deck? He's like, dude, without suicides, she doesn't make the cut. I still have Kitty in my deck. But I think, ascending her could kind of make up for that lack of the recoil masteries in a setting like Battlegrounds. So I think Kitty Pryde, Ascension, #1 undisputed best option for the mutant class. I think the only other really honorable mention here would be Archangel. Just have a massive nuke. I doubt we're going to see 7-star Archangel, so yeah, I think he'd make sense. But yeah, really just Kitty. Kitty and Archangel, the only ones make sense here to me. Cosmic, we already mentioned. Hercules, of course. Outside of Hercules, I think there's really only just 2 champions that come to mind for me, and that is Hulkling and Gallon. Because CGR, Seaton made a video showing off the damage that an Ascended rank 5 CGR can do, and it's nuts. My rank 4 CGR is doing good numbers. I think a rank 5 for CGR is sufficient. I don't really think he needs the Ascension yet. Once we start getting rank 3 7-stars, maybe. But I think, yeah, a 565 CGR is going to be more than enough damage. So I really don't recommend ascending Cosmic Ghost Rider unless your name is Slayer of Gods. Null is available as a 7-star. Vision Arcus, available as a 7-star. I don't know why I mentioned him, but I like Vision Arcus, and I'd like him as a 7-star. And Hyperion, also another great Cosmic Champ, available as a 7-star. Gore, available as a 7-star. So, there's really, the only other champion that comes to mind would be Adam, who, I don't have Adam, so we're not going to talk about him too much, but I made a video on Ascended Adam, and it's pretty nuts. I think he definitely is a top option for Cosmic. And he's not available as a 7-star. So, and he's unchanged by rebalancing. So I think Adam Warlock, probably the #1 Cosmic option for Ascension after Hercules. But the number 2 and 3 options, Gallon and Hulkling, man. So Gallon, he's going to gain more harvest damage, which, using boosts or suicide masteries, none of that helps Gallon's harvest damage. The only thing that helps Gallon's harvest damage is an increase of base attack. But the only way to get increase of base attack is through ranking them up. And Ascension also counts towards that. So Ascended Gallon going to be getting more harvest damage, which is very, very good for him. And yeah, definitely a top option. But for me, Gallon was my first ever rank 5 6-star period. So I don't want to keep ranking up the same champions to the new highest levels, because I want to rank up different champions to when we get these new power levels of power, because I want to have different experiences, So if I had to choose between Hulkling and Gallon for Ascension, I would pick Hulkling, because I ranked up Hulkling after Gallon. This time I would rank up Hulkling first, and I think Hulkling, he's already just such a big nuke. He'd be even bigger on defense. He's already such a pain on defense, so being bigger on defense, that's a big plus. And yeah, he's just going to kill faster, which he already kills quick, but, there's nothing wrong with killing faster. And just, he's already so tanky. It's just one of the best champions in the entire game. Hulkling is just so good, so of course ascending him is a great option. All right, let's go ahead and move on to tech. So I think there's one champion here that really stands above the rest for me as just the #1 option for Ascension, and that's Future Ant-Man all day long. I think Fam is a very, very, very good option for Ascension because, again, he's not available as a 7-star. He's seemingly not going to be. He's very reliant on his signature ability level. Not reliant, but he gets a massive benefit from it. So even if he was available as a 7-star, so what? The 6-star is going to be better because at max Sid, you can basically get pseudo immunity to bleed and incinerate, which is massive. That's like 2 immunities that you can, almost immunities that you get minus 90% duration, and you also get some regen to, heal up that 10% that's not reduced. So yeah, I think Future Ant-Man is just the #1 tech option for Ascension for sure. I think after Future Ant-Man, I don't know, I feel like it really falls off, but I think Nimrod wouldn't be a bad option. Ghost wouldn't be a bad option, although I wouldn't do it. I think, again, similar to the CGR situation, I think a rank 5 Ghost is going to be sufficient damage-wise. An Omega Sentinel is an interesting one because of her base attack is very high, but I definitely would not do that. I think Future Ant-Man is just the #1 option all day long for the tech class. And we move to the Mystic class. Now, the Mystic class is interesting. Lots of great champs here. However, there's really only two champs, I'd say. Kindred, if you want to just be the biggest jerk, yeah, send Kindred. People are going to hate you. Yeah. But really, I think there's 2 options, and that's Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom, he is that guy, or at least he was that guy, the #1 best Mystic champion in the game for years. He held it down. Doom is still incredible, and I don't think we're going to see Doom as a 7-star, because if we did, he would be such a perfect 7-star. As soon as you pull Doom, he's good. Doom does not need to be awakened. All Doom's awakening ability does is give him prestige. There's like a small ability that lets you heavy spam on a couple of matchups, but that's literally it. Outside of that, the awakened ability is not needed at all in the slightest. So like an unawakened 7-star Doom, like right out the crystal, would be so powerful. I can't see Kabam adding it. It'd be so annoying to fight too. Man, I wonder if we'll ever get a 7-star Doom. I don't know. Maybe one day. I feel like it's not completely outside of the realm of possibility, like Hercules and Kitty Pryde are. I think it's still pretty unlikely, but maybe not. So I think Doom would be a really, really great option for Ascension. But I don't think he's the best. I think the best option for Ascension, by far, is Absorbing Man. Absorbing Man, definitely my favorite Mystic champion, my favorite champion released this year. I think he is the best Mystic champion in the game now. Absorbing Man, he just has so many immunities. It's absurd. It's absurd. He's immune to bleed, shock in his Black Uru phase, plus almost 10,000 physical resistance in his Magma form, almost 10,000 energy resistance, and immunity to Incinerate, and Cold Snap. His surgery to give him poison immunity, just immunities for days. Now, what Absorbing Man is kind of lacking outside of his ideal matchups, especially if you can't play him like super skillfully to get the most out of his forms and his vulnerabilities, is just damage. Even playing him flawlessly outside of his ideal matchups, the damage is still, it's actually pretty good if you play it like absolutely perfectly. Heavy punishing everything, so your specials crits, and just getting tons of light counters, so you stack up lots of vulnerabilities. But he could still use more damage. He could definitely use more damage. So I think Ascension for Absorbing Man makes a lot of sense. Plus, Absorbing Man is a 2-way champion. This guy is a tremendous defender. So ascending him, it's going to be more HP, more health on defense, and more attack. If he gets some crits through the block, it's going to hit even harder. So I think Absorbing Man is by far the #1 Mystic champion to ascend, and he'll definitely be my first Mystic Ascension. So we can kind of go over some of my first Ascensions. So Mystic, Absorbing Man, for sure. Science, Scorpion, for sure. Tech, Future Ant-Man, for sure. Like, I'm locked in on those 3 Ascensions. Kitty, she's going to be my Mutant Ascension, but, like, I don't think I would ascend her anytime soon. I just took her to rank 5. I'm in no rush to take her to the next level yet. So I would definitely be focusing on other class types. Cosmic, I want to do Adam. I don't have him though, so I'll probably just keep on waiting. Then that takes us to skill. And so skill is going to be the class that I ascend someone in, and I'm sure you guys all already know who it is, and that's Nick Fury, of course. So why Nick Fury? You know, I didn't talk about him too much when I was going over the top options. I just said, you know, it's kind of a no-brainer because he gets a lot of HP in both of his lives, which is very true. And now that is why I genuinely believe that this is the absolute best decision for me and my account, being, you know, a very Battlegrounds focused player. I think this is by far the best decision for me because, you know, Nick Fury, I think he's the best skill champ in the game. Big fan of the character as a whole. I like using him on attack. I'm a big fan of using, you know, kind of a cheesy strategy where, you know, you just use your health bar as like a resource in a Battlegrounds fight, especially, you know, fighting Electros or, you know, Mephistos with Nick Fury. Take a ton of damage, but then you end the fight. You time it so that right as you end the fight, you're entering your second life, and then boom, you finish with basically full health. I love doing that. I love using Nick Fury on offense. But the problem is, you know, there's rarely opportunity for that because he is undisputedly one of the absolute best defenders in the entire game because he works differently than every other champion, and the fact that he has 2 actual full lives. And this Ascension gives 22% health. So that's to both lives, though. So Nick Fury is getting a 44% health increase on defense with this Ascension. Like, no other champion is getting that much of a benefit from it, especially defensively, which is my #1 priority for rank ups. Again, for me, my account personally. Defense is one of the absolute most important things because, you know, I already have a ton of attackers. You know, having attack options, that's not a problem for me. I need strong, sturdy defenders that are going to give my opponent problems or make them at least take a while. And having an ascended Nick Fury, that's at least going to make their fight take a while. So there we go. That's why, boom, ascend Nick Fury, 900,000 gold. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. My very first ascended champion. Let's see where he ranks in the roster as a whole. So yeah, he's my #1 champ. Oh yeah, by a large margin. Let's go ahead and just... There we go, dude. Damn. Ha! Nick Fury ascended. Yeah, I decided this a while ago, but it was close though. Like, if I had Adam Warlock, I would genuinely be considering him. Luckily, I don't have him, so it made this choice a lot easier. But yeah, Nick Fury all day. As far as like my next Ascension, like if I could do another Ascension right now, I think it would probably be Scorpion or Fam or Absorbing Man. I'm not sure. It would definitely be one of those 3. I think those are undisputedly the best options in those classes. It'd be tough to pick which one, but that's what I like about Ascension. You know, it's not class limited. But all right, let's just go ahead and now do a couple of fights. So let's jump into some Realm of Legends, and I'm going to be testing Nick Fury without deep wounds because people always love to say, "Oh yeah, Nick Fury's good, but only if you're running deep wounds." So let's run him without deep wounds. And let's see what a 565 Ascended is doing. I am running Suicides, though, because it is the Alliance War off-season. So, oh yeah, I guess I didn't really take a look at Nick's stats, but he's got 66,000 HP now. Okay. Go ahead, jump in here. Let's see, how hard are we hitting for as an Ascended champion? Get some bleeds. So those bleeds are taken for 3,791. Our light bleeds. All right, not too shabby. And then on the next fight we do, I'll let my first life die so we can enter second life with Fury, which also is, you know, this is definitely not as important of a thing anymore for Nick as it used to be. But you know, 3 years ago, when Battlegrounds didn't exist, you know, questing was a whole lot more important. So playing Nick Fury at you know, in his second life was more of a normal thing. You know, these days it's kind of a rare thing. Even in Battlegrounds, you know, hopefully if you're playing him, that should only be happening like right at the end of the fight. But yeah, having an Ascended Nick Fury, you know, that's more HP in that second life. You know, that 30% threshold. In your second life, you have a max of 30% HP. So the more ranks on Nick Fury just increases the amount of HP in that 30%, which, you know, is a big deal for Nick Fury. Again, in those questing scenarios 3 years ago, that would have been a big argument for this choice. And today, it's just a side note. But yeah. So, I mean, I didn't even see how fast that was, but, I mean, it wasn't bad. I kind of blinked and it was over. But, alright, let's jump into Labyrinth. Red Hulk. We'll let him kill the first life, and then we'll just go to town in life 2 and see what we can do. Okay. I wonder if my Nick Fury is going to get banned every single rounds match now. Probably. Probably. And, I mean, I enjoy fighting Nick Fury. So that's going to kind of suck. I'm sure some people will not ban him, though. I feel like if someone has a 565 Nick Fury, they probably won't be banning an Ascended one. But if they have like a rank 4 Nick Fury, then yeah, I think it's a very high likelihood of him getting banned. I'm just going to get rid of my power here. And look at that. Nick Fury above 15 tactical charges. If he knocks the opponent down, he purifies all debuffs. Nick Fury at his base has a purification to non-damaging debuffs on knockdowns. But yeah, above 15 tactical charges, it is any debuff, which is you know, pretty sick. I just wanted to throw away my power because I'd like to probably, you know, throw a special 2 once we get into second life. Alright, pick my phone back up now. Man, this first life, we sure are tanky. Okay, nice. He blocked at that time. Alright, nice. Second life. Alright, I'm gonna take a couple hits here. Okay. Alright, so let's see what kind of damage we're doing now, bro. Holy smokes, 16k mediums. That's a lot of damage. Alright, we're gonna get these bleeds up. Okay. And then let's bait this. Okay. Alright, now that'll elongate our light bleeds. Those are taken for 8,000. Wow, 8,641. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Let's bait this. Then we'll 5 combo into the striker. I'm not going to be able to do another light combo, but throw a special 2. Okay, nice. Another one of those bleeds. Bait this out. Go. Should have maybe tried to get unblockable, but whatever. This fight's still going great. Should I go for it here? I think I will. Yeah. We're gonna go for it with a little light bleed in the special 2. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, crap. Gotta time this right. Oh, no. Oh. Alright, we got it. Okay, I said Nick Fury coming in clutch. Would have been kind of embarrassing if we died, showcasing my brand new Ascended champion. But we didn't. We got it down. So, there we go, guys. That's my choice. For me, it was kind of tough, but at the end of the day, the decision was pretty easy when I really thought about it, because I think I'm just getting the most out of the primordial dust by ascending my Nick Fury. So that's why I did it. That's going to go ahead and do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my analysis on top champs to ascend. Let me know who your first ascended 6-star is, and then just give me a little blurb about why. Why did you ascend that champion? Especially if it's, you know, someone little out of pocket. I'd love to hear why. If it's your favorite champion, you know, if you have a reason, like a little anecdote, a little story. This is my favorite champion. You know, I did this content with them. They've been my favorite for years, so I had to ascend them first. And I love to hear stuff like that. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, I would really appreciate a like rating. You can do it. Peace out.